drives me crazier than when a person breaks something and doesn't tell me about it.
What did I break? Vera! What did I break?
Never mind, just tell me the next time, all right?
Dude, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, you're really making me mad.
Tell me what I did.
The faucet in the bathroom.
Faucet.
Oh, give me a break.
You're gonna have to help me out here, Grandma.
What do you call it? What do you call it?
What do you call it?
Oh, don't you make fun of me.
I'm not.
The handle that you turn, it's completely off.
I thought it was always like that.
No, it wasn't always like that. I went in there this morning while you were asleep to clean because it was filthy, because obviously you had not cleaned it since you've been here. And it was never like that before.
It came right off in my hand, I swear.
I'm just asking you to tell me the next time, all right? I don't think that's an unreasonable request to you.
Sorry.
In case you're interested, I was at a funeral this morning. That's where I've been all morning.
Okay.
It was the last of the octogenarians.
What?
There were 7 of us, octogenarians. And we had dinner once a month for a lot of years. And we were all lefties. And there were a lot of memories and laughs, and the last one just died besides me.
Sorry.
So, he was a rat. He would make passes at me with his wife sitting right there. She had Alzheimer's, so she didn't mind. But I did. And it was the last one. And I'm not feeling very terribly happy about it.
You want a hug from a hippie?
No, I'm all right. And I spoke to your mother on the phone this morning. And I did not tell her you were here, but you were all that she talked about. And she's really, what do you call it, in distress. And I'm not feeling very terribly proud of myself.
You can't take all that on. You have to let her find her own way.
Well, you see, that's not how I think about things. I believe in a society where you, here I go with the words. The point is that you help people. It's about it's about the community. It's not about, I do what's best for me and you do what's best for you. Because I'll tell you, the last thing I was thinking when Joe was dying, that I better pay attention to what he says about politics, because I always relied on him to explain it and make the arguments.
I've been reading this book he edited about Cuba.
Oh, yeah?
It's really interesting. I didn't know this about their healthcare system.
Oh, their health care is wonderful. And literacy, too.
Grandpa's introduction is really, well, I don't remember him that well, you know? But I remember his voice. He had that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I've been imagining his voice reading it, and it's like, so sure.
Indeed.
The way he writes, well, it reads a little bit hokey now because it's so, but I think it must have been so cool to be so uncynical. Like, I think I'm really uncynical. And Micah was definitely totally uncynical, but you guys, it's like a whole other level of definitely learning about Grandpa. Definitely cool.
Your mother told me something this morning, and I've been debating bringing it up to you at all. Do you want to know what it is?
not really.
She told me in the beginning of the summer, when you were home for a little while in St. Paul,
She's still...
that you tried to kiss your sister.
I can't believe she's still fixated.
Oh, that must have been very disturbing for Lily, I would think.
It was so not disturbing. She was not disturbed. And try is really not the... I mean, we kissed. A lot of people were kissing. It was like a spontaneous kissing convention, and we kissed. And it was so not a big deal, except in our totally taboo-laden...
Well, she's in therapy about it.
I cannot... Okay, she's in therapy. Because we were both fucked on peyote and we kissed once, with totally minimal tongue. And not because her parents are so obsessed with the fact that they not treat her differently because she's adopted, and they never failed to mention it to her a single day in her life. Obviously, it was the totally harmless, and I would even say pleasant, smooch that sent her reeling into identity confusion. I mean, it's not like I fucked her.
She's your sister!
Yeah, and she's awesome. I wish she'd get the fuck out of that house.
You know, you need to learn how to take responsibility for yourself. You know that? And you're right. I see how they are with, well, the fact is, they didn't think they were able to have you when they adopted her, and there's a guilt there and a nervousness, but you're a sensitive young man, and you should be able to understand that, and not get so angry about it. And you should be able to understand that she is very vulnerable. She always has been, and that kissing her wasn't the best idea. That's all. That's all.
It's hard to imagine anything more emblematic of our society that a kiss expressing real mutual love between two people is considered destructive.
Oh, you know better than that.
I don't, Grandma, and I don't want to.
Rebecca found out about it. Is that it? That's why she's so mad at you?
Beck knows about it because she was there. And she also kissed Lily, actually, which was really beautiful. And she's not upset about it because she's way more open-minded than that.
Oh, and I'm old and closed-minded. Is that it?
You're old. You could choose not to be closed-minded.
You didn't say anything about the buzzer?
What?
I had the super change the name on the buzzer, since you didn't seem to be getting around to it. It has my name now. Only took me 10 years, but it has my name now.
Congratulations. Sorry, is that what I'm supposed to say?
Well, take a load off. You take sugar?
No.
My neighbor across the hall has diabetes, and so I keep this stuff around. In case you use that sort of thing.
Thank you. something else you need to do.
You want me to leave, is that it?
No, I just don't want you to feel like you have to, like,
What?
I don't want to be in your way.
Well, you're not. Particularly. You having second thoughts, is that it?
What? No, I just, no.
When I was first married, not to Joe, my first husband, Arthur, it was a week or two we'd been married, and a woman showed up at our apartment with luggage. Arthur said to me, "Oh, I forgot to tell you. Before we were married, I promised I would take her away for the weekend. And I paid the thing out on a promise." So I said, "All right." And they went away. And I put the key on the piano, and I went home to my parents' house.
And you divorced him.
Oh, no. At the end of the weekend, he came to my parents' house, begging and pleading. And I thought it was so funny that he'd been so stupid, I went out with him. It wasn't the last time he cheated.
Of course not.
And then we were married 6 months when he went out to Hollywood with this, what was her name? She was rich and neurotic. Muriel. They went out to write a screenplay that her father bankrolled, and Arthur never sent me a penny. Well, they must have been having an affair because when he tried to end it, she threatened to kill herself. It was a terrible mess. And then one time we were at the Cafe Society, or they must have been back from California by then, and she followed me into the cab. And she said, "Oh, can't we be friends? It just eats away at me that you're so angry at me." And he cried and carried on. And I said to her, "Listen, Muriel, there are people you like and people you don't like, and I don't like you, and I want you out of this cab." And then she just cried and carried on. This woman who had been sleeping with my husband for 2 years. And then there was this waitress from Arkansas. He came home and confessed that he was in love with her. And I said to him, "Oh, listen, she's a hick. You have nothing in common. Oh, sure, the sex is terrific and whatnot. But why don't you go out there for a few weeks and see if there's really enough there for you to leave our marriage?" And he did. And sure enough, he came back. And he said, "You're right. We ran out of things to talk about." And that was that. He was a cheater and a drunk, but I liked him to the day he died.
I don't know what you're trying to tell me.
But,
What do you want me? Why are you telling me this?
oh, I'm just trying to make conversation. I'm not getting much help from you.
But you're going on and on about these, like, parables of tolerance and forgiveness. You should have left him.
Oh, I did eventually.
But you put up with, like, and you tell these stories like you're proud of him.
Well, listen,
Like this woman who you tried to push out of a cab, you should have pushed him out of a cab. She was coming to you for understanding.
Oh, I see.
I'm not going to forgive him.
All right.
I'm sorry, I've been really... And I can't believe he's fucking late. I can't believe...
Listen, I'm not saying forgive him or don't forgive him. I don't know what you should do. That's your affair. All I'm saying is that men sometimes can do, well, but you have to remember, it's done more out of stupidity than anything else. It's not, what do you call that? Malicious. It's just stupid and childish.
I guess I don't make those kind of allowances based on gender. I mean, I wouldn't want anyone to make those allowances for me, so...
Oh, I guess you think I'm very backward.
No, it just...
Found a community garden.
Excuse me.
I told you I have class at 2.
Am I late?
I can't miss any more class.
I said I'd come up to you.
And I said I didn't want you in my apartment.
I brought you something.
What do you want me to do with this, Leo?
Love it. Cherish it. Teach it what you know. Make a pie. I miss you all the time. I think about you in college. Think about whether they have left-handed desks for you.
They do.
That's good.
Sometimes right-handed people sit at the left-handed desks and I get really pissed.
Bastards.
I know, I'm like, you're not just hurting me, you're hurting yourself.
You like it?
I don't want to talk about college with you, Leo.
Why not?
Because you're just gonna be like, disdainful?
I'm not. I want to hear it.
It's, I don't know, everyone's so much younger than me, like, just 2 years, but it's, so it's lonely. But I'm taking this class on global health that I think is really, I met with the professor a few times, and I might help her out with some research next summer in Mumbai if the money works out.
Man, you move fast.
I walked into her office and I was like, I've built houses in Ecuador and taught English in Mali and installed solar panels in Kathmandu, and I want to know how I can work with you. And she was like, wow, it's so refreshing to meet a female undergraduate who doesn't end every sentence in a question mark. So,
You always wanted to go to India.
it'll be so nice to travel somewhere not on my parents' dime, you know.
I can come.
To Mumbai?
Yeah, why not? So
I want
happy
to break
see
up.
you. Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay.
The other night when I told you I needed time to think, that wasn't true, I want to break up. I'm sorry, I know the timing's shitty, I was gonna do it no matter what when you got back from the bike trip. It's not about you going AWOL this summer, even though I'm really fucking pissed about that.
So, you've been planning this for a while.
Yeah, yes.
That's why you backed out of the bike trip.
No, I backed out of the... No, I didn't back out of the bike trip, I was never definitely going on the bike trip.
Okay. I remember it differently, but it doesn't matter now.
You
So.
knew I was applying for internships, you knew that.
Yeah, and I knew you were buying gear and training and telling me you loved me and it was important we got to spend this time together before you went to school, that's all.
But when Allie backed out, it was...
Dude, Allison tore her ACL, dude, that's totally...
But it wasn't gonna be the trip we planned, it wasn't gonna be the four of us.
But you admit we planned a trip. You planned to come with us, that was the plan. But I guess you were planning to break up with me, you just didn't let me in on that.
I'm sorry I didn't go on the bike trip, okay?
No, it was good. It was amazing to spend that time with Micah, actually. I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Well, good.
I mean, it would have been nice to have you there when he was killed. It would have been nice to have not been alone for that.
Yeah, it would have been nice if you showed up at the funeral. I really needed you then. Do you know how humiliating that was and hurtful? That everyone was like, where the fuck is Leo? And I was like, I don't know, he hasn't even called me.
But you were already planning to break up with me. What? I'm just trying to master this timeline, Beck. It's a little confusing.
You're laying all this on me, but we had problems. We never had the kind of relationship Mike and Allison had. I think we should just face that.
Wait. I don't know what that means.
They were like real grown-ups in love, like actually in love. I'm not saying we didn't love each
Well,
other.
you're saying I'm not a grown-up.
I'm saying like, even my mom still talks about it, like what a mature and even
Oh, well,
balanced.
Ellen thought
Don't
so.
be an asshole, you know what I mean? You just had this serenity that we didn't have.
I thought it was the other way around, actually. That we had the real deal, because I thought about you all the time when you weren't around. I talked about you like some kind of fucking lovesick idiot. Whereas Micah never talked about Allie at all.
That's because he didn't have to.
You know, I think you have a very weird, very idealized picture of their relationship. It may interest you to know that he cheated on her, actually.
Okay.
Several times. With some very questionable specimens.
It's not cheating if it's an open relationship, and it's really none of my business, and I don't think it's cool at all to talk about him that way.
I just think it's interesting that your idea of a perfect relationship is your boyfriend getting a BJ from a 15-year-old girl whose uncle owns the campground.
My idea of a perfect relationship involves not having to justify myself all the fucking time to someone who claims they love me, but is constantly disappointed in me. I'm so tired of disappointing you, Leo. And fuck you for telling me that about Micah. I did not want to know that.
excuse me. I was going to the basement to do some laundry. I was wondering if you needed anything to be washed.
No.
Are you sure? You haven't washed your sheets since you've been here.
No. Thank you.
You know, Micah's parents are back together, right?
What?
I know.
Oh, no.
I actually tried to talk to them about it. I was like, you know, I love you both, but is this really a good idea for you guys and for Ethan? It was so weird. I felt like such an adult.
What did they say?
He cried and told me how proud he is of me and how lucky Micah was to have me in his life. And she got super huffy and passive aggressive. And they both assured me it's what Micah would have wanted, which seems to me both patently false and completely irrelevant.
They're gonna destroy that poor kid.
He's such a sweet kid.
He's a great kid. He is.
It's a shit show. I gotta get back uptown.
I want to read you something.
I'll be all right.
It's short. There is a field. That's the title.
Real.
You have to promise to listen with an open heart. Please. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about.
I have to go.
Just let me touch you.
No!
You're forgetting how our bodies are together.
No, I'm not. When I'm not furious at you, I'm really worried about you. I don't want you to become someone who makes me sad every time I think about you.
Okay, Beck, I'll go to college.
Fuck you.
One of us turned our backs on everything the four of us believed, and it isn't me.
Well,
Hey,
are you all right?
yeah, I'm good.
She lost weight. She could lose some more after all. What?
It makes me sick to hear you talk about our bodies, so just fucking stop, alright? Did you hear that?